were musical instruments used in medieval monasteries. Have you ever wondered about the role of music in medieval monasteries? It's a fascinating topic that reveals much about spirituality during that time. Music was central to monastic life, especially vocal chants like Gregorian chant. This style of music was essential for daily prayer services, including the sexth hour, which is one of the canonical hours dedicated to prayer. However, when it comes to musical instruments, the story changes. Inside the cloistered walls of monasteries, the use of instruments was quite limited. Monastic communities often approached the idea of instruments with caution. They focused on the purity of the human voice and the contemplative nature of their worship. Instruments were more commonly found in secular settings or public religious ceremonies outside the monastery. Within the walls, the emphasis remained on unaccompanied sacred vocal music. This reflected a spiritual ideal of simplicity and devotion. That said, there were exceptions. Some instruments, like the organostrum, an early form of hurdy-gurdy, were occasionally used in monastic schools. These instruments helped with musical instruction and could accompany singing, but this was not the norm. Other instruments, such as the rebec, shawm, pipe and tabor, and carillon bells, were popular in medieval Europe. However, they were mostly associated with secular music or outdoor performances rather than the interior monastic liturgy. Interestingly, the tromba murrina, named in reference to the Virgin Mary, found some use in church and monastery contexts. This shows that while instruments were rare, they did have a place in sacred music, albeit often symbolically. Overall, the music of medieval monasteries was dominated by vocal chant without instrumental accompaniment. This focus on the human voice served to support contemplation, prayer, and communal worship. When instruments were used, it was typically for teaching or special liturgical occasions, not as a regular part of monastic musical practice. This approach highlights the spiritual purpose of music in monasteries, emphasizing the human voice as a pure medium for prayer and worship.